Welcome! Today we'll be deciphering Chun-Li's iconic Street Fighter 2 debut outfit, the inspiration behind the look, and my own findings. So, let's get into it. Known as the First Lady of Fighting Games, Chun-Li made her debut appearance in 1991's Street Fighter 2, produced by Capcom. This would be a pivotal moment in the game's history, as this was the first female character in the game. She was created by former Capcom designer Akira Nishitani, with her original character design created by former Capcom artist Akira Yasuda, aka Akiman. Nishitani stated, "Previously, there were no women in fighting games. In Chun-Li's case, I wanted a woman in the game. I determined what her fighting abilities would be. Then China just came up as a possible homeland." While a driving force in today's game space, I can't shake how former Capcom producer Yoshiki Okamoto confirmed that he initially wanted to give her a shorter life bar because she's a woman. While fortunately those changes were not made, this goes to show the sexism that runs rampant, especially when it comes to designing female characters and, by extension, the conversations that happen behind the scenes when men design women in video games. She has since been known as a cultural icon, and her inclusion in the Street Fighter games has been a topic of discussion on the portrayal of women throughout video games, and specifically fighting games. What inspired Chun-Li's character design? Well, there's actually two sources for that. Her design was primarily inspired by Tong Pu, a female villain character from 1989 video game Strider, an earlier Capcom game. As you can see by her attire, there are clear resemblances and similarities to Chun-Li, such as her long braided double bun hair and her attire that she's wearing. Another inspiration for her character design was Tao from the Genma Taisen animated movie. Created with Japanese tastes in mind, in a 2003 Japanese interview for the book Style of Games, this was from character designer Akiman. "My first idea resembled the Chinese character Tao from the Genma Taisen animated movie, with big, wide-legged pants. She would also have that front and back apron. The character wasn't very sexy though, and my design lacked visual impact and personality. So at the 11th hour, I experimented and made a bunch of frantic changes to the pixel art. First, I tried giving her bare legs and a bodycon dress that made her look like a female pro wrestler, a sort of fake kung fu fighter. It's a little bit hard to describe in words, but it had a lot of impact, and I decided to go with it and release her to the world this way. She became far more popular than I had imagined. I was shocked. I guess part of it was that she was the only female character in the game. Now when you combine both characters and their designs, the inspiration becomes more apparent. And yes, this part is also true. Her muscular legs were to showcase her strength, exaggerated for graphical visibility for her sprites, and based on Akiman's personal fetish for thick thighs, as stated by former Capcom employee and video game composer Yoko Shimomura. Well, that answers a lot of things. While it's true that aspects of Chun-Li's design caters to the male gaze, it's also true that her power, bold personality, and grace countered the many damsel in distress portrayals often given to female characters of the time. From the double buns that she wears, the chignon caps, the qipao, the wrestler style boots, to her edgy bracelets that could honestly do some serious damage. It's a merge of East meets West. When it comes to Chun-Li's hair, it's tied into two buns. The style she wears is generally known as shuang'aji, which literally means double maiden bun in Mandarin Chinese. This is a hairstyle that was popular during the Tang and Song dynasties among girls and unmarried women. They also can be braided buns, and generally has a youthful association. Though, since there are varying names for Chinese double bun hairstyles depending on the look, Chun-Li's look could be specifically known as Chongtianjiu, which literally means towering buns. While the style may not have been intended to showcase this history and acts more as a cultural signifier, it's a trademark look nonetheless. They are covered by white chignon caps with golden accents in a bow to secure the hairstyle. Her makeup is very simple. It's only a red eyeliner on the outer lid and in the corners of her eyes, and pink lipstick. Depending on the artwork though, sometimes this detail also gets ignored or not considered. When it comes to accessories, Chun-Li wears her iconic thick black bracelets with sharp spikes, which are worn on both of her wrists. Quite edgy. A key element to Chun-Li's design is her qi pao. A qi pao is a Chinese dress worn by women. It takes inspiration from the qi chuang, a traditional dress derived from the Manchu people, an ethnic minority in China. Today, it's seen as a formal dress and worn at formal and special occasions. To add, I'd say her qi pao design is an inspired take on the garment, as before this game, I don't think you actually saw a qi pao interpreted in this way. Chun-Li wears a customized blue qi pao with a white waistband. This piece also acts as a cultural signifier of her Chinese heritage. However, the details seen on the waistband are ignored in later drawings and artworks. Let's look at the top half and the bottom half of the qi pao. Looking at the collar, there is a curved mandarin collar with golden accents on its edges. While there isn't a frog, known in Chinese as pankou, it's replaced by two triangular shapes along with a curved golden line in between it on the top right to simulate it. There are continuous curved golden accents seen on here, which I think is a neat detail. Continuing these accents seen on the side of the sleeves, the qi pao includes puffed short sleeves ending with a zigzag pattern. There are length and side slits with gold accents at its edges. It's shorter than a regular qi pao. In fact, the fabric at the front is shorter than the fabric at the back. The back detail is also interesting as it features a slit in the middle of it. Of course, these changes were made to allow for more movement. Considering that she's a tournament fighter, it would be very difficult to move if it was the traditional qi pao length. She wears translucent tights, which are reminiscent of what wrestlers would wear, noting what Akiman said about this character design. You can see that this detail also complements her white calf-high boots that have thin shoelaces, which also looks reminiscent to what a pro wrestler would wear in the ring. This outfit would go on to inspire many outfits, such as her Street Fighter Alpha look, and currently in Street Fighter 6. Her appearance here shows a more reassured Chun-Li, and honestly, I'm here for it. I like when character designs are intriguing and they merge things in a way where it makes sense to the character and it's not done in a tacky way. It's actually done intentionally here. The amount of times she's been referenced in pop culture, etc. is endless and shows the continuing relevance, intrigue and style that Chun-Li has had ever since she arrived on the scene in 1991. That concludes the video. What are your thoughts on Chun-Li's outfit? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.